All right, let's go back to one of our top stories again for today. And residents who are in the north side of Bloemfontein say a lack of effective intervention by the Mangaung Metro Municipality at the landfill site continues to threaten their lives. And for more on this, we're now joined by Qondile Khedama. He is the spokesperson for the Mangaung Metro Municipality. He joins us via our telephone line. Qondile, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. Now, a number of the residents in Mangaung are up in arms, and of course this is due to that landfill site, which they say is affecting their lives. How do you respond as the Mangaung Metro to their concerns over this landfill site?
No, thanks, Madam, and thanks to your viewers. It's part of the Northridge site that is affected by the landfill site. And this is an ongoing process. So remember, one of the things that the current leadership has been seized with, it's asking questions as to, one, how did the approval of a development, of a residential development happen? And this is what city manager is actually looking into. Yes, we may not win that fight now as to how, who, and then who had approved it. But fact of the matter is that the development has happened and it's next to the landfill site.
Yeah, and
all that we have to do as the city, it is to work at the mechanism as to how best to assist the residents into that area. And one of the things that we are doing, it is making sure that the landfill site is regulated. It's dealt with in a way that is going to assist both business and residents around that area. What we'll be doing in the next few days, it is to take the interdisciplinary team that is currently working in the CBD, take it into the landfill site, make sure that, one, those people that they are complaining about, the so-called illegal immigrants who are working at the landfill site, are attended to in a form of the immigration office, in a form of SAPS. And the other thing that we are doing, it is making sure that the landfill site processes are being attended to. Remember, the lifespan of that landfill site is short, and currently the technical people who are working into the landfill site are looking at ways and means of making sure that at some point we relocate the landfill site to the right place.
Yeah, and Qondile, that's where I was coming. I mean, you know, this neighborhood already exists, and if residents are complaining about this that is hazardous to many people in this area, what is the likelihood of, the Mangaung Metro Municipality trying to ensure that this landfill site is removed away from these residents?
Exactly, but it's not a process that will happen overnight. Hence, I'm saying, number one, the development was not supposed to have happened into that area. But secondly, it is to follow all processes of landfill site exercises, where one, it gets filled, and then once that has happened, it will be relocated. But remember, there are technical aspects that are involved. Number one, there was a time when they were complaining about the smoke that comes as a result of fire. There's methane, obviously, it's the landfill site. But also there are environmental issues that have to ensue for each one to reach the point of closure. And even after the point of closure, we have to make sure that all the processes that relate to environment and landfill site exercises, where you deal with the methane, where you deal with processes of acquiring another land. I know for the fact that the city manager had at some point acquired a land to make sure that that landfill site, once it has reached its life, it's moved to another area.
Yeah, let's also then talk about...
I can tell you now that the municipality is actually dealing with all those processes. There are compliance officers, because one of the things that is causing a problem there is that everybody is actually getting into the landfill site.
Qondile, I don't have much time here, and maybe I just want us to move a bit forward now and just talk about, those squatters which you say are actually on the site, and you are saying that, you want to call in the immigration to try and deal with some of these squatters living on this site. Do we know exactly where do they come from, and, what lengths have you gone through as the municipality to try and track down that if there are people living on the site, it's also very unhygienic to have people living on a dump site?
But remember, at the South Rand landfill site, we had similar problems. But after the interdisciplinary team got on site, we were able to deal with some of the people who are working on the landfill site illegally, people who are dumping illegally, because that is one of the things. But what we are currently doing at the Northern landfill site is that we have compliance officers. Nobody gets in there without a permission. We look into the waste that is being disposed into that area. We are actually making sure that at least there's an element of hygiene that is involved, because that development that is next to the landfill site is a problem, because it was not supposed to be there to start with. And this is what we are actually dealing with, to say, how did those people get a permission to develop residential area into that part of the landfill site? But now that it has happened, ours as the city is to make sure that we try to promote the hygiene technically into the landfill site, one, in a form of making sure that there's an element of compliance. There is waste management exercises that is taking place there, in making sure that you do not encounter the unhygienic substances at the high level. And this is issues that we're actually dealing with. We obviously want to educate people who are staying there. Because if I'm supposed to buy a property or to rent a property next to the landfill, so that's the first question that I have to check.
All right, Qondile, thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. That is the Mangaung Metro Municipality Spokesperson, Qondile Khedama, just giving us an insight there in terms of the situation unfolding in Bloemfontein when it comes to residents in that area who live near that landfill site, and of course posing a health hazard to a number of residents. At the same time, residents there also threatening legal action over the Mangaung municipality. All right.